Abortion is defined as the termination of pregnancy with the removal or expulsion from the uterus of a fetus. There are two types of abortion, miscarriage and induced. The miscarriage is the spontaneous end of pregnancy because the fetus is incapable of surviving independently. Induced abortion is when the mother wants to end her pregnancy and goes through different types of procedures to accomplish that. This documentary will focus on the induced abortion. In places where abortion is legal, such as the Netherlands, China, United States, France, Cuba, among others, induced abortion is among the safest procedures in medicine. However, in nations where it is illegal, in the midst of despair, the pregnant woman decides to go find a homemade method or clandestine hospitals, putting in danger her own life.
Unsafe abortion results in approximately 70,000 maternal deaths and 5 million disabilities per year globally, an estimated 44 million abortions worldwide per year. Fortunately, the number has lowered due to the increasing use of contraceptives and family planning programs. Induced abortion has a long history and has been facilitated by various methods including herbal abortifacients, the use of sharpened tools, physical trauma, and other traditional methods. Contemporary medicine uses medications and surgical procedures to induce abortion. The legality, prevalence, cultural, and religious status of abortion vary substantially around the world. In many parts of the world, there is permanent and divisive public controversy over the ethical and legal issues of abortion.
Induced abortion. Approximately 205 million pregnancies occur each year worldwide, and about a fifth end in induced abortion. Most abortions result from unintended pregnancies. A pregnancy can be intentionally aborted in several ways. Specific procedures may be selected due to legality, regional availability, and doctor or patient choice. Women seeking to finish their pregnancies sometimes resort to unsafe methods, particularly when access to legal abortion is restricted. They may attempt to self-abort or rely on another person who does not have proper medical training or access to proper facilities. This has a tendency to lead to severe complications such as incomplete abortion, sepsis, hemorrhage, and damage to internal organs. Unsafe abortions are a major cause of injury and death among women worldwide. Although data are imprecise, it is estimated that approximately 20 million unsafe abortions are performed annually, with 97% taking place in developing countries. Unsafe abortion is believed to result in approximately 68,000 deaths and millions of injuries annually. There are a lot of risks when having an abortion. The leading causes of abortion-related deaths are hemorrhage, infection, embolism, anesthesia, and undiagnosed ectopic pregnancies. Legal abortion is reported as the fifth leading cause of maternal death in the United States. The reasons why women have abortions are diverse and vary dramatically across the world. Some of the most common reasons are being unable to afford a child, either in terms of the direct costs of raising or the loss of income while she is carrying the baby, lack of support from the father, inability to afford additional children, desire to provide schooling for existing children, disruption of one's own education, relationship problems with their partner, a perception of being too young to have a child, unemployment, and not being willing to raise a child conceived as a result of rape or incest, among others.
What is your opinion about legalization of abortion?
I think that it should not be done. I believe that even a little baby who's still shapeless is alive and we shouldn't take it. Maybe the other option that the law could give is to offer those mothers the chance to have those babies to give them away later on in life, but not to kill them before they're born.
What do you think the government should do to avoid abortion?
I think education is the key in almost every problem in our society. So in this one is about educating women on how to take care of not being pregnant, how to have a sexual healthy life, and how to do the right thing so they never get to this point.
In what cases would you consider the idea of abortion?
I think maybe we could consider the idea, if a woman is raped, is sexually abused, maybe it will be very shocking for her to go through the whole process. So maybe that could be considered, but still I'm not sure. I would just think about it.
Current laws concerning abortion are diverse. Religious, moral, and cultural sensibilities continue to influence abortion throughout the world. The right to life, the right to liberty, the right to security of person, and the right to reproductive health are major issues of human rights that are sometimes used as justification for the existence or absence of laws controlling abortion. Other jurisdictions ban abortion almost entirely. Many, but not all, of this will allow them to be performed in a variety of circumstances. These circumstances vary based on jurisdiction, but may include whether the pregnancy is a result of rape or incest, whether the fetus is not developing well, whether the mother's physical or mental well-being is endangered, or whether there are socioeconomic considerations that could be taken into account. In countries where abortion is banned entirely, such as Nicaragua, rises in maternal death directly and indirectly due to pregnancy have been noted. In places where abortion is illegal or carries heavy social stigma, pregnant women may engage in medical tourism and travel to countries where they can terminate their pregnancies. Women without the means to travel can resort to providers of illegal abortions or attempt to perform an abortion by themselves.
Do you agree with abortion and why?
Actually, I do not believe with abortion because abortion is taking a human life. From the very conception, it is considered to be a living thing, a living organism. So by having an abortion is like killing a baby. So I do not agree with abortion.
Why do you think abortion is legal in some countries?
I believe abortion is legal in some countries because the constitution of these countries and even states within countries allow for the person to choose whether they want an abortion or not. They're called pro-life or pro-choice. Pro-choice exists in many of the states in the United States, and that just means they have the right to an abortion as long as they're 18 years or older.
Induced abortion has long been the source of considerable debate, controversy, and activism. Abortion is often related to ethical and moral opinions, in which religious ethics also has an influence on both personal opinion and the greater debate over abortion. On the other hand are the rights and responsibilities of the woman seeking to have an abortion. Generally, one position argues that a human fetus is a human being with a right to live, making abortion morally the same as murder. The other position argues that a woman has certain reproductive rights, especially the choice whether or not to have a child.
If a woman who has been raped is forced to carry her child to term, she will feel that child move inside her, knowing that half of it is composed of her attacker. If she chooses to keep that child, she will forever be torn between the love of a mother for her child and the memory of the man who attacked her. And if the child ever finds out the truth behind their conception, they may well develop self-loathing or other mental disorders. More and more women who are drug addicts or alcoholics become pregnant. The fetus she carries inside of her has no chance of being born normal or of having a normal life. Alcohol abuse and chemical dependence are diseases, and the sufferers are usually unable to stop even when they are aware they are pregnant. If they do carry to term, their children are born dependent on the substances they use or have birth defects. In this situation, the only human thing to do would be to end the child's suffering before it begins. Assuming that you live in a country or state that has made elective abortion legal, you, as the potential mother-to-be, have the sole right to determine whether you wish to keep the fetus that is growing inside of you or not. In countries like China, strict regulations are set on the size of families, and enforced abortions are the norm for those who fail to obey. This has come into effect because the government of those countries know they lack the resources to cater to a larger population. The same problem is occurring around the world, where large families typically live in poverty and borderline starvation, while those who have fewer children enjoy a better quality of life. The truth of the matter is, children who are not wanted and not put up for adoption are likely to end up with parents who are disinterested at best or actively abusive at worst. Having known people who have been adopted, it is easy to recognize a common refrain that runs through their laments: "Why didn't they want me?" It is a fact that there are already countless thousands or hundreds of thousands of homeless, orphan, or unwanted children in the world. These children, scattered across the globe, lack proper nutrition, healthcare, education, and shelter. They never have the opportunity to truly be children, to play, laugh, and be happy and carefree. Instead, they live in poverty and fear, are abused, and often die before they reach adulthood. Teenagers who become mothers have grim prospects for the future. They are much more likely to leave off school, receive inadequate prenatal care, rely on public assistance to raise a child, develop health problems, or end up divorced. Adoption is a viable alternative to abortion and accomplishes the same result, and with 1.5 million American families wanting to adopt a child, there is no such a thing as an unwanted child.
Even though it may not be fully formed, a fetus in the second trimester is still able to feel pain. Why do you think a baby starts kicking its mom's stomach whenever the father makes stupid noises at it? Abortion is murder, and I'll bet you if you ask an unborn fetus whether he fancies the idea of being murdered, he will tell you to at least wait until it was old enough to fight back. Since life begins at conception, abortion is similar to murder, as it is the act of taking human life. Abortion is an indirect defiance of the commonly accepted idea of the sanctity of human life. Just because your baby is going to be born with spina bifida does not mean you can terminate him before he is born. You have to be patient, loving, and compassionate, and if after 6 years the poor kid is still suffering, have him terminate them. For women who demand complete control of their body, control should include